Rolling on here with BYU team captain and I guess understudy / coach / all around good gentleman, Connor Pate, on today's show. Now, Connor, it's a compressed schedule this week with a Friday night matchup. You have one less day of preparation. Give our listeners and or viewers a sense of when you have one less day of prep, how much extra work does it really create, or does it in some ways maybe take some work off of your plate?
Oh, excuse me. No, it definitely adds, in the sense of it's the same amount of work as any other week. You just have one less day to do it all, and so yesterday was a long day. I think I got to the facility around 7 a.m. To get started on some film stuff. I had to do just my rehab regimen for my foot, and I think I left the facility at about 9:45 last night. And so we had to cram a Monday and a Tuesday together.
Okay.
To where it's like, okay, here's what we would normally accomplish on a Monday. Had to do all that in the morning. What do we normally accomplish on a Tuesday? You got to do all that in the afternoon, and then go out and practice like a Tuesday practice. And today was like a Wednesday practice, and tomorrow will be like a third. Everything's just shifted up a day. And so, you have to get through that same amount of film, those same clips, so that you're educated on what we're going over at practice. But your time to do it is just cut short. And so, obviously, for me as an individual, I'm trying to watch every clip Oklahoma State has played this year. And I've probably done that. I've probably watched every play a couple times now, just different situations or just watching games all the way through. But that's stuff you have to get through so that you can be prepared to go out and help each other at practice, so the coaches can be prepared to install the game plan for meetings and all that stuff. And so, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of sleep amongst at least the coaches for sure. I know the coaches have had some extremely long nights.
You're already living the coaching lifestyle. 7 a.m. to 9:45. Come on, dude. You fit right in. I like it. Now, I also wanted to ask you, so Oklahoma State comes off of a bye week, but they lost 3 straight games going into that bye. So I'm expecting them to be a fairly desperate squad as they come to Provo for this one. You mentioned the fact you've seen every play that they have run this season multiple times, particularly, I'm sure, with that defensive line. What do you see on tape? What are you expecting from this Cowboys team?
I mean, obviously they're having a hard time as a team right now, but they're still extremely talented individually. Like they're having, obviously they're trying to use their bye week, I'm sure, to fix some of the issues they're having holistically. But when you look at them pound for pound in each player, like, man, these guys, just like last year, like these guys are really talented. Like a lot of these dudes that were on the team that went to the Big 12 championship last year are still on that team. And, and for whatever reason, they haven't been able to put it together as well, but they're just as talented and just as dangerous, as they were last year. And so by no stretch do we care at all that they have gone 0-3 in the last 3 weeks, because it's like your record never tells the full story. And so, we're going into this game prepared to play that Big 12 champion caliber team that Oklahoma State often brings to the table, because it's true, they do. They have their backs against the wall right now. So I expect them to come out and play probably their best game of the year, because they have to if they want their season, to go forward. And so for us, it's like, okay, we have to match that intensity. It's like, okay, we have to practice like our season's on the line and it depends on it. You have to bring that same intensity and match that and exceed it. You have to practice every day like the national championship is on the line, because now that we're 6-0 and atop the conference, that's a reality for us, of winning the conference and going to the college football playoff to compete for a national championship is a reality for this team. And so it's like you have to practice every day like the national championship's on the line. And I'm sure that's what Oklahoma State's doing. And you see flashes of it on tape. They just haven't been able to put it together for full games yet this year. But you see enough of it to know it's there. And so, I think as long as we keep the right mindset and prepare the right way, we're going to be able to go out there and play well. But this is a really talented team.
How much are you buying the excuse that Mike Gundy said that one of his cows headbutted him? Did you hear about this?
No.
So he has his press conference typically in person on Mondays. They moved it to a Zoom session, essentially just audio only this week because, as he said, I got into it with my cattle. They apparently were watching Oklahoma State football and headbutted me. He said I've got a bloodshot eye that doesn't make my face look very pretty, so he decided to cancel his in-person press conference.
Well, poor Coach Gundy. First of all, that sucks. Yeah, that's brutal. I didn't know that. I haven't really been on social media much the last couple days, so I missed that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So hey, fun times in Stillwater because
I hope he's good.
Well, he made light of it, obviously saying that my cattle apparently were watching us play because we haven't been playing very well, but at the same time. Now, you mentioned the fact that you guys took on this team last year. This is one of those teams that you guys actually have holdover from last year with the experience there. You guys came up short in a heartbreaker last year in double overtime. How much does that stick with you as you go into this matchup against Oklahoma State?
Oh, I mean, how can it not? For the guys who played in it, that was our chance to go to a bowl game, and we were in complete control of that game for 2.5 quarters, and then we let it get away from us. And so obviously that stings a little bit. Like, that sucks. And so in a sense, we definitely feel like we owe them one. And yeah, I think all the guys who played in that game last year, or who were at least on the team and on the sidelines, all kind of feel that way. Like, hey, like you took something from us last year a little bit.
All right. Now, obviously, the weather is going to change. It's crazy. We got into mid-October with it still being in the 70s and the 80s. But are you doing the praying hands? Because do you like the cold weather?
I love it. I love it. I'm excited for it.
So you're looking forward to this 40-degree, 30-degree nonsense on Friday night, then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand. Like, I'm so fat. Like, I'm so hot all the time. I have a permanent winter coat on 24/7. So it is so rare for me to be able to throw on a hoodie and some sweats and be all cozy. Okay. I'm going to be able to go to this game in my most comfy hoodie, a nice pair of sweats, and I'm going to be feeling awesome.
You're not having to wear the game day polo or whatever the coaches are going to wear here? Come on now.
No, good grief. Good grief. Yeah, like I said, not even close to that. If I even asked for one of those, I'd get laughed out of the equipment room.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, that's like, I was tempted to ask for a headset. But there are Big 12 rules that, I mean, honestly, they probably would have given me one if they weren't big. Yeah, just so I could, because honestly, Coach Woods is so in the zone during the games. He rarely tells me what the play is.
Oh, okay.
Like, he hears it in the headset, and sometimes, depending on his mood, he'll like, okay, it's this play, and I'm like, sweet, and so it's like, but then it was like I got maybe a tenth of the plays told to me before they run. So I'm like, okay. Oh, there's the formation. There's the motion. Okay, what are we running? Oh, yeah, okay, I got it. And so thankfully we have the Surface Pros on the sideline now, and I just kind of went through and hurry and boom, boom, rewatch the drive, and then I know what's going on.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the other thing about this is there cold weather, but also potential wet, just snow, rain. How much does that change, obviously? And obviously, I'm sure there's concern. I've got it on the questions here from our listeners. What's the concern level about the field holding up and having the right footwear, et cetera, for the guys?
Oh, I don't think we'll run into that problem again. Because the grass is 1,000,000 times better than it was last year. And because everyone has a pair of screw-ins in their locker to wear if they need it.
Okay.
And so it's mandatory that those are brought to games now. And so that even if you go out in your normal cleats and you feel yourself slipping a little bit, you can just go throw your other ones on and it's all good.